Alright, good morning everyone. Hope everyone is having a good pre-market so far. And you're looking at the gappers this morning. I like what I'm seeing. I like my watch list this morning. Nice and tight. Previous few trading days been a lot on the watch list. I kind of personally like watching one or two names. It's honestly my favorite mornings. I feel like I perform better when I have less on the watch list. I can focus on the tape more. Get a better picture, get a better idea of what I'm looking at and what's going on. So less is more when you're trading. For me, unless you guys are crazy multitaskers and you could, pay attention to 10, 15 names. I know some traders who could do that. I've seen people watch like 15, 16 tickers at once. They have like 7 monitors and they're able to look at each and every stock and get a good read on it. I don't know how. Shout out to you guys who can do that. Personally, I'm not one of those traders. But but yeah, I like watching less, and I always say less is more when you're trading. So we have two stocks on the watch list this morning. So let's dive into the first name. So first we got NNDM. NNDM is our first ticker on the watch list. So you guys see there the float says 18 million. I like to go per Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance has the float around 26 million, and I did have a reverse split. And our traders in Discord were saying the new float's around 2.6 million, right around that 2 million region. So we do have a low float here, a micro float here, under 3 million in float on NNDM this morning. So the float is no longer 26 million. It is now 2.6 million on NNDM. Now also NNDM, you guys may not see it here, but the stock does have short sale restriction on. So it is a plus for long traders. So we do have SSR on, which is a good thing to see on when you're looking at some of these longs. So we got an SSR on, a day one stock, and we have a low floater here on NNDM. Now looking at the pre-market volume, doing 1.1 million in volume. So we are doing some decent, some pretty good volume over in the pre-market. As far as the baseline volume here, not bad either on NNDM. Now let's look at the daily chart. Look at the daily chart here on NNDM. Doesn't have any sort of history of running. We did have 1 day here, but due to the reverse splits, it's tough to see what exactly it did that day. But you see, it did 4.6 million in volume. It did have some good range on that day. Due to the reverse split, the numbers are going to be a little skewed here. So yeah, it doesn't have a big history of running on NNDM, but you could also see it doesn't have a big history of doing high volume days. So it looks like today it's probably going to be on pace for its highest volume day in its stock's lifetime here on NNDM. So now looking at the stats here, nothing crazy as far as the stats here. Institutional ownership 9%, insiders 2%. So we don't have a high amount of institutions or insider ownership. We like to see those numbers a little bit higher. In this case, we don't have that here on NNDM. Let's look at the intraday chart, the pre-market chart. Nice, pretty steady uptrend here. Did crack 4 here, but nice reclaim of $4. After the breakdown, held above 4 for a nice period of time here, and now we're up at some close to new highs here, right around 450. So looking out of the gates, I have my lines mapped out. You guys always want to make sure you guys have your lines mapped out. So I'm also going to map out here the pre-market high, right around this 470 line. So I have a 470 line that mapped up. I have a $4 line mapped up, and I have this 380 mark where we bounced here after we broke down 4. So what I'll be looking for? I'll be looking for a washout into one of my longs here. If you guys really like it, you can look to buy, look for a long at one of your lines. Or you guys could look to wait for it to bounce, consolidate your lines, move on up, put in a higher low, and then you could look for a long as you see more confirmation of a reversal as we bounce off our support lines. So that's what I'll be looking for this morning. A washout into my lines, a higher low for some more reversal confirmation to risk off my support lines on NNDM. Do like this for a possible long this morning. Obviously we need to see confirmation with volume and price action before we can get involved with anything. We saw yesterday on TROV. You guys remember yesterday on TROV? I had an initial short bias, a short thesis over in the morning, and then what did we see at open? We saw it start doing 1 million volume on the 1 minute candles. Crazy freaking volume yesterday on TROV. So I was like, hey, I'm not gonna short something like this. This thing's doing insane amount of volume. I'm not stepping in front of this on the short side. Like stepping in front of a freight train. I'm not trying to do that. So same thing with on NNDM. This thing could open up and it could just be a dud. It could have no volume and it could just die on off. So we got to see how the volume looks. Got to see how the price action looks. All right. So next, and sorry if I don't get into any questions, guys. Let me do my pre-market analysis. Then I'll hop into some questions as I'm done. Now on TROV. This will be on short watch. Kind of similar setup to remember yesterday on BIMI. BIMI, we had the day 2 short setup, and obviously this doesn't have as big of a gap to fill to the downside, but you can see we still have some room to the downside here on TROV. So ideally, I already have some orders out. Ideally we pushed 175, 180s, risking the $2 line for 140s, maybe 130s on TROV. So I'll be looking for a weak volume pop at open, short into my lines. I almost forgot about this one too on TROV. You see, that's what happens. A lot of these, people forget about it. People forget about TROV yesterday. Everyone's hyped about NNDM, and then your TROV ends up, getting no volume towards it, no liquidity, and it just dies on off. So this is the day 2 setup that I like to look for. So I'll be looking for this morning pop on weak volume for some more downside. So that's it. That's it for my watch list. Nice 2 stocks, nice and tight. So I'll be looking for my setups. If nothing sets on up or nothing comes to me, I won't take any trades. So that's gonna be it. Let's see. Stock block. Yeah, I'm like in the 4 line and the 380 line. Yep. I'm thinking the same way there. Stock block. Let's see. Salty. Cool. You guys like bull flags? Yeah. Bull flags are bullish pattern for me. I have different type of setups I look for, but a bull flag definitely a bullish pattern. Same thing as an ascending triangle pattern. Someone could see this as an ascending triangle pattern. You can see here. Now you could draw the trend line, nice uptrend coming down to the top right hand corner of the chart, squeezing over this 470 mark. For a scalp, to me, I see those are more scalper setups. A bull flag setup, you could get a nice 20-25 cent pop out of it. Same thing with an ascending triangle pattern. You're buying the breakouts, so you're buying at the top. So ideally you're looking for a 25 to 30 cent pop to sell into. So those are more scalp setups, and those are definitely some reliable patterns there. Ascending triangle patterns, bull flags, wedge patterns. So everyone's gonna have their own niche and setups they like to take. Yep, Casper, that's how I like to play on the long side. I like longing into short squeezes. I see those have the best rips, the best runs, get massive moves out of buying into short squeezes. When you see that trap happening, accumulating all the short sellers and then ripping it on up. To me, those are when you get the best rips, the best runs, and that's where I like to be longing. All right, let's see. CETX. Oh yeah, CETX. I didn't go over that one. Thank you. Was watching it for a little bit, but I wasn't liking the volume it was doing on CETX, and this is gonna be a tricky one. It's gonna be a tricky one if you guys are thinking long today on CETX. We could get a little bit of a pop, a little bit of run, but guys, look how Look how many bag holders this thing's gonna have. We just went on a massive 30 million in volume run here, 38 million. We went on a massive 25 million in volume day here. So we have huge volume days we did in the past, and we have a lot of long upper shadows. So it's gonna be a lot of bag holders, guys. When we get over 2, it's gonna be a lot of overhead supply. So maybe you guys could look for a little bit of a pop here on CETX. If even that. Personally, I won't be looking, at it. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of bag holder resistance over here on CETX. So if this thing does pop, does get some volume towards it, I'm not expecting a huge run. I'm not expecting this to push over 3, maybe 225 max on CETX. But we'll see. It's still a 2.4 million in float with a high amount of insider ownership. So we'll see what happens. All just speculation, guys. All just speculation there. So let's see NNDM here. Let's see. Short trap, how to tell. It's kind of accumulation of a lot of things on a short trap. If you're speaking in terms of, the short trap based on the chart, it kind of be something like this. Kind of something like this. Looking weak, breaks down $4. Shorts are like, this thing is dead. Let's go short. And you can see we have a high volume red candle here. A lot of shorts banging in here. Think it's gonna fade back to 3, and boom. Bigger hands step in. Reclaim 4, and boom, now those short sellers here are stuck in 380s, and now they're getting squeezed out 420s, 430s here on NNDM. So something like this will be an example of a short trap where we break down support for a little period of time. You can see, this is probably below VWAP. A lot of traders short just because it breaks below VWAP, which is kind of stupid. You shouldn't just short because it's below VWAP. VWAP shouldn't be the end all be all of your trading strategy, and it's just the reality that a lot of traders do short below VWAP, and you could see it held this 380 line. That's why I mapped up this 380 line, and then it reclaims 4. And now shorts are really uncomfortable. They're like, oh no, I just shorted 380s, it's at 4 now, and they're getting really uncomfy, and then boom, 420s, 430s. Now they're getting squeezed out, and this is why the stock pushed on up here. And you also combine that with longs with the squeeze mentality. Longs are seeing this. It's basing above 4, and longs like me, like Bull, like Stockblock, like all these traders in Discord chat are seeing this as well. And, we're getting long here 4 and riding this up to 450, 460. So that's kind of an example of, what a short trap would be. Chill out over in Discord chat. Nailed it. Nice. I didn't see that. Sorry guys. I wasn't super active in pre-market this morning. Was a little bit busy, so I wasn't able to trade this morning in pre-market, but I probably would have traded NNDM on the long side this morning if I was here. Let's see. Yeah, congrats to you, Dreambox, on the trade on NNDM. Super proud of you, man. JJ, good morning. If you just joined on in, JJ, we are watching NNDM is our top watch this morning. We do have a $4 line map up on this one and a 380 line on NNDM. So I won't be buying it up here. I'll be waiting for some sort of pullback to my support lines before I get involved with it. Good morning, Norbert. Dempsey, good morning too. Salty, can you tell shorts are covering on reading the tape? Yeah, I could tell. It's some shorts covering, some longs buying by reading the tape. And I've been on the other hand of the squeeze too, so I've been short selling for 2 years now. My first year I only went long, but the past 2 years, two years and a few months now, I've been short selling myself, and I've been caught on some of these big squeezers. So I know how it feels, and I know the mentality of a short seller, and I know the mentality of a long seller. So you guys want to know the mentality of a short seller and mentality of a long trader. That's gonna help your trading. Knowing the mentality. What shorts are thinking. Alright, so market's about to open in the next minute here. I'm going to throw up the scanners. And we'll get started for this day. Yeah, make sure you guys are trading safe, being smart, taking good quality setups. Let's all have a good day. Alright, we are open here. Let's see. NNDM, let's see what's in store for this one this morning. Same thing with TROV, also on short watch. So let's see how this looks right out of the gate here. 446 is absorbing a good amount there. Let's see if we could break over it. Had some trouble there at that 446. We did, break through there. And there we go. There's a new high right there over pre-market highs. Looked a little weak there for a second at 446, but volume did step in there and did get over that pre-market high. And there is some unloading right there. Right back at that 440 level now. But still, our lines are, at least my lines are pretty far down here. And sometimes we're not going to get to exactly that exact line you want. Sometimes, it's not going to get to your exact line. And there we go. There's 480s now on NNDM. If this goes straight up without me, good for to NNDM, but I'm not going to be a chaser. It's one thing I will not do. I will not chase. I'm going to buy at my lines, buy at support, sell at resistance. If you guys are scalpers, go attack it. You guys do you. We all going to have our different niches and different ways we trade. Occasionally I'll scalp here and there, but I'm more of a trend trader, much more of a trend trader. I'm not gonna say I'll never scalp. I'll scalp here and there, but so pretty hard rejection right there. Pretty hard rejection on NNDM. Still watching TROV also. Still watching that one. But, I need more of a pop before I can get involved with that one. Remember, guys, that short sell restriction is on. Short sell restriction is on. So shorts are going to be unable to short on the bid side. They're going to have to get filled on the ask. Sterling Trader and Poseidon did post they do have some warrants that they could exercise too. They do have some warrants that they could exercise too. If you guys want to look over in chat, it is posted. About those warrants on NNDM. Let's see, CETX. You guys are saying CETX. Nice, CETX. 180s. We'll see if this one can get a quick pop towards it on CETX. Let me put up another level 2 for you guys so we can check that one out. TROV, no pop yet, so no trade so far out of the gates for me. There's TTS. That's one that we were on dead cat bounce from yesterday. So I'll put up CETX. Yep, CETX, you won't be looking for a long on here. I told you guys, about this overhead supply. I don't like seeing that when I'm longing. Very recent runs too, big runs, a lot of upper shadow, so a lot of days this thing spiked. There's going to be a lot of bags. Like I said, you could see a quick pop on it, due to the low float. Could see momentum traders move in, some chat rooms move in too. Yep, Sterling Trader, there are some warrants here on NNDM. Some traders did post it in chat, so if you scrolling up in Discord, you could see. Oh, I think you posted it, Sterling Trader. You posted the warrants. All right, Casper, thank you. So we do have some newsletters moving in here on CETX. Thank you guys for the heads up. If you guys ever see that, call it out. I don't like saying names on the stream, but if you guys you want to call it out, go for it. Yesterday you guys were calling out, Ducks was shorting, and if you guys have any other newsletters, you guys call it out in chat. It's definitely helpful information. Knowing that thousands of people are either buying or longing is a great great tip, and it's very helpful. It's good to know that stuff, guys. It's very good to know that stuff. What's going on, first name? Yep, NNDM. It is consolidating here, guys. Does look like it's starting the base here, 420s, 430s. I do have a $4 line mapped up, but it definitely looks like, it started the base to consolidate a little bit here in the 420s, 430s. So let's see if we get another rug pull here, maybe back to $4. But it's definitely possible that this could be where it bottoms and starts to reverse here. So let's see. So we double top there on CETX. If we have a pop here, another rejection of $2, could be a short single. Could be a short single. So let's see how CETX reacts to this $2 push. Let's watch the tape, see how it looks. The last 2 times we got over 2, we saw pretty some pretty heavy unloading there. And NNDM trying to base here. It's trying to base here 420s, 430s. So a lot of trouble here, 199 on CETX. Did take some smaller size short here on CETX. You know, failed rejection here of $2. You guys see we double topped, came back up again. Over under 2, a lot of weakness there at 2. So I am a smaller size short here on CETX. Still a micro float, 2.4 million. But I'm seeing a lot of weakness here on the tape. And, you know, this daily chart, you know, I'm thinking we're going to have a lot of overhead supply, some bag holder resistance here on CETX. Not looking for much on it, guys. Not looking for much on it. Still a micro float, so it could easily, you know, still squeeze, you know. It doesn't take much to squeeze, you know, something like this. So I only have 3,000 shares. Let's see, NNDM. I didn't even see NNDM. NNDM did get a nice pop there. Hit 480. TROV never got the pop on that one, so never got the short on it. Hard rejection there, NNDM. Hard rejection there on NNDM. This is not the typical you know, pullback I like to see, guys. This is not the pullback I like to see. I don't like seeing this, you know, this death candle here. I don't like seeing this death candle. I like to see, you know, like a slow kind of walk down. Slow kind of walk down. You know, when I see this death candle, it means someone's unloading most of the time. So I like kind of seeing like a slow little walk down and then a curl on up. So watching CETX here, if I do have to get stopped out, we'll be perfectly fine with that. You know, I'm in smaller size in this one. You know, still being cautious that it's a micro float. Still being cautious it's a micro float. There we go. Back at 193. Let's die CETX. See 190s. 190 needs the pull here. 190 is kind of that support line at the moment. So it is at our line right here, but after seeing that, you know, we got to be cautious. You got to be cautious. Yep, Casper, you know, I see what you're saying there. You know, this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see this pullback back to our line. But, you know, after seeing, you know, a huge unloading like this, you know, we went from, you know, $4.60 to $4 in one candle. You know, that's not the type of pullback I like to see. You know, if you go back and look, you know, I don't have the charts right now. I have to dig for them. But if you go back and look at the charts from, you know, this pattern I like to play, you know, I don't like seeing, you know, this massive, you know, unloading in one candle. It could still, don't get me wrong, it could still definitely, you know, start the reverse here. But you know, I just like to take a step back after this. You know, I may still look for it. I may still look for it and go and attack. But just gonna wait a little. Gonna wait after seeing that. So there's CETX once again, guys. You saw that. Got over 4 and right back. Right back down at 190. So we're having a lot of trouble over that $2 mark. You guys see that. But at the same time, we're holding 190. So we are holding 190. 190 is underneath the pull. I'll probably be looking to take, maybe 1,500 shares into, a wash below 190. There's NNDM 390s. NNDM 390s. So we'll see how it looks. 380 kind of that last line for me. 380 kind of that last line. But I'm not liking it, guys. I'm not liking it as much as I did before. After seeing a candle like that. So this is why we always say, guys, price action, has to confirm as well. We're doing decent volume out of the gates. But, the price action was very choppy, very bearish. Multiple upper shadows. You can see here, big sell-off. You see these 30, 40-cent drops. Came back up, retested again, big, large upper shadow. And then we got that death candle. The death candle right there at this 460 mark. So 380, kind of that last line on NNDM. Let's see, Gauge. This is Trade Ideas. It's Trade Idea scanners, and it costs, I believe it's like $220 a month. $220 a month. You could go Google. It's TradeIdeas.com. They have their monthly plans there and yearly plans. I do the yearly plan. Each holiday they have some nice sales too. So they probably have like some sort of Halloween sale if anyone's interested. So kind of this back and forth battle on CETX, guys. Each time it gets over 2, it gets stuffed. There's unloading. And then each time we come to, 190, we soak and, bounce on up. So let's see here, coming up to 208, 210. I'm still in at the moment. I'll do let you guys know if I do stop out. Giving it a little wiggle room because I have very small share size. Giving it a little wiggle room here. They kind of have that 215, did have that 215 area in mind for a stop loss in very small share size. So if we start the base over 2, I'll stop out. If we start the base over 2, I'll stop out on CETX. So I'll give it a second here. If it pulls back to 2 and it starts to base, I'll stop on out. Or if you start to push, 215s, I'll stop out too. So I want to see how it looks at 2, yeah. Let's see. So we're going to give it like a minute, like another minute or two. If it's still over 2, it's still basing, I'm going to stop out. Alright, yep. I'm gonna get out of that one on CETX. So I am out. Small little loss right there. Small little loss there on CETX. You know, it's tricky, guys, shorting these micro floats. Very tricky. 2 million in float. Even though the daily chart is shit, and overall, just a shitty stock here on CETX. Still a micro float, and it doesn't take much to rip it. And I took a small loss there, guys. I lost about what did I lose about here? You lost about 400 bucks here on CETX. So small loss there, and gonna move on. Let's see, NNDM, TRV starting to spike. You guys saying Ducks just sorted CETX? I still like it for a short, though, guys. I still like it for a short. I'm going to see what it does up here. I could look to re-enter. This is the setup I like to look for, when I'm looking for a parabolic short setup. I like seeing, all this overhead supply. So I'm going to give it a second here on CETX. Want to see how it looks into the next pop. NNDM side, no, NNDM starting to curl a little bit. NNDM starting to curl a little bit. Sorry, guys, I had to mute the mic for a second there. Let's see. So let's see. NNDM slowly curling here. Slowly curling here on NNDM. You know, it did bounce off that 380 line. Now it's slowly starting to come back on here on NNDM. Let's see CETX. CETX still holding up above $2 there. Still may consider a re-entry on that one. I'll let you guys know on CETX. So let's see if NNDM starts to base over 4 now. Let's see if it starts to base over this $4 line on NNDM. Yeah, guys, sorry I was muted for a second there. Mute the mic for a second. Let's see NNDM starting to push a little here, 425. So let's see how we look on the next pullback on NNDM. Could trigger a possible long signal here on NNDM if we pull back here, start the hold again. Kind of want to see one more pullback and some soaking on the bids, and then look for it again, because this could just be shorts, some shorts covering, and we could reject here. But I want to see some strength here on pullbacks. Let's see CETX starting to push a little here. CETX starting to push a little here. I want to see how this one reacts also to the highs. All right, so we're getting this little bit of a pullback here, 411. OPGN curling. So watching CETX closely here and NNDM. Watching both of these. Oh, sorry about that, guys. My bad. Alright, here's the push on CETX. Here's the push here. So pushing here on CETX. Big test here on CETX. Big test here. So watching closely on this push here on CETX here. Go right at the highs here, right at the highs here on CETX. So NNDM yet to crack here. Volume starting to come in here on an NNDM. There's 440s. So out of nowhere there in NNDM. Out of nowhere there in NNDM, 440s. And to be honest, guys, I was so focused on CETX there. I was so focused on CETX there. And I did pick up some there short on CETX. I'm anticipating this stuff here on CETX. Definitely not a beginner trade though. Definitely not a beginner trade here, guys, on CETX. But NNDM just shot up like a cannon right there, guys. Like a freaking cannon right there. I kind of slept on that one, guys. I was more focused on CETX. So really nice volume came in there on NNDM. And this did exactly what we spoke about this morning. It did have this death candle here, but it did do exactly what we talked about in pre-market. Wash out to our lines, came down to 390. Put in a higher low, and then boom, took on off. So this is the same exact setup, guys. We like to look for. At least not you guys. Me. It's the setup I like to look for. When I'm looking for a possible long. And just perfect here on NNDM. So great job of anyone who caught that. I slept on it a little, guys. I did sleep on it. I was kind of focused on CETX. For whatever reason. And I just missed the NNDM. I was considering it around here. Then I saw we kind of topped around this 420 area. And we came back. Once I kind of saw it broke this 407. I kind of turned my attention more towards CETX. Like right when I saw this happen, I'm like, oh, yeah, it cracked that 407 area, that previous bottom, and then I turned over to CETX, and sick on NNDM right there. Great job for anyone who caught that. Anyone who got in near $4 or got in near 380, anywhere here. Great job on NNDM. So yeah, I did enter CETX though. I did re-enter that one on CETX. I did go a little bit bigger on the size here. I have a tight stop over the highs. on CETX. So for anyone who did catch NNDM, congrats. Type in chat if you guys took that trade. Wow. Oh my god. Look at that. That is brutal right there. That is manipulation at its finest right there, guys. That is manipulation at its finest. What a brutal candle. That is... I think it's going to get halted. That is brutal right there. Jeez. Talk about a true death candle right there. It is over. Rest in peace, NNDM. It is game over there. You can't come back from that. Jeez. Yeah, I hope no one got greedy there and you guys took profits. Because that is brutal. And it looks like CTX kind of falling a little bit. Some long traders are like, yeah, I'm out. Peace. Jeez, yeah. Hope no one got caught in that. And that's another reason. That's another reason why you don't want to chase, guys. You don't want to chase. You don't want to chase. You want to buy at your lines or near your lines. Don't want to buy the $4.50 half-dollar breakout because this is what happens. Unless you guys have really quick, trigger fingers like Salty here, most of you guys will get crushed. Most of you guys are gonna get smoked. Chris Hansen, happy you made 420. You made 25 cents there, cause that was definitely scary right there. That was definitely a little scary. Yeah, I would say this is probably going to crack here, guys. I'd probably say NNDM's probably done at this point. I don't know how you come back from that. A lot of longs are probably trapped now up here. Uh, so definitely be careful, guys, if you're in this one. Definitely have a stop loss in. OPGN coming back on up. Yeah, I'd be mind blown, guys, if if NNDM comes back after this. I would be shocked and mind blown. Wow, 21% red candle right there. Yeah. So lesson learned from NNDM for those who didn't. Always take profits. I'm sure if you're in from 410 and now we hit 470s, I'm sure you hit at least the first target by then. You shouldn't really have like a $6 first target. So lesson learned from this. Always take your profits, and always have a stop loss in. Always have a stop loss in. Oh, and how could I forget? Don't chase. Don't chase. Don't be a buyer here at 450s, 460s. So those are lessons to be taken from this NNDM play this morning. I'm really surprised how that didn't get halted to the downside. I'm sure, yeah. Stockblock just said it was a 26% candle to the downside. Usually 10% candles to the downside usually halt it. So I don't understand how this one didn't get halted. Yep, that's a good point there, Dreambox. Yeah, I'm sure the slippage will be big. But I'm sure it definitely would have minimized it, though. I mean, if you had a stop loss in, 420s or a trailing profit stop, I'm sure you weren't getting filled 390s. Unless you have like a Robinhood broker where your executions are terrible. I missed TTS, Ricky. Did I? Nice. TTS, yeah. Great. 160s. What's his name? IBS. So this was the play yesterday. We called that $1. We called the bounce. I called the bounce like 80, 90 cents. I did mention it to IBS. I know he did take some yesterday in the afternoon. I'm not sure if he swung overnight. But yeah, nice, really nice bounce on TTS. Look at this, NNDM 410s. I'm going to be shocked if this thing gets back up. Volume steadily fading too on CETX. I'm still holding a 210 short on this one. So careful also on OPGN. Poseidon did call out the last offering. He called it out on what was it, BNGO. So Poseidon saying there's a big offering risk on OPGN. So make sure you guys being very careful on this one. Last thing you want to do is lose half your account. So be careful on OPGN. Poseidon saying it's a high risk of an offering. DJ, would short still be in with CETX and its consolidation? Yeah, unless your stop loss hits, then no reason to get wicked out and get scared. I know usually past like 10:30, 11, a lot of shorts like to exit their position. I know for me, I don't really like holding past 10:45, so I'll definitely reevaluate around that time, but we still got some time. So ideally, I'd like to see the crack happen within the next 15 to 20 minutes on CETX. Appreciate that, Chris. Thank you. Would I long past 10:45? Yeah. I'll take some longs past 10:45. And a tricky one here on CTX. Definitely not a beginner short, guys. Definitely not a beginner short. For anyone new watching the stream today, we do have a Discord chat. Links down below in the description. Definitely go check it out, guys. It is 100% free. And for anyone new watching, we do have an options live stream going on at the same time. So if anyone's interested in options trading, you can go check out my trading partner Alex. He is live streaming his options. So if I do have to stop out of CTX, it'll be perfectly fine. And that'll be my last trade on it. I usually have a 2-loss rule, where if I'm wrong 2 times on the play, I cross it off for the day, and it says, "Hey Nick, I was wrong," and move on. So it looks like we are pushing here on CTX. Do have a 220 stop loss in, so risking about 10 cents on the CETX trade. We definitely should have cracked by now, so I'm definitely it's not looking good here on CTX for the short at the moment. TROV squeezing, yeah, TROV squeezing, I see that. Definitely, it's not a setup I like to take. If it's past 10 on that setup, I usually like to avoid it. I like shorting the morning pops on those setups. Sterling Trader, Dux is all out of CETX, alright. Well, I'm still holding CETX. I have a 220 stop loss in. Told you guys the reasons why I'm short biased this morning on CETX. Thank you, Stockball. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, as long as you guys have a good trading thesis and trading plan, just go out and attack. You know, that's really it. Just have confidence in your setups. You've taken it multiple times. Just go out and attack. You know, if you guys don't have a trading playbook or trading setups and you're in a trade, then I could understand why you may be a little nervous, a little scared, because it's something you've never done before. But if you've tracked it over and over again, and I recommend tracking the simulator, then have confidence in your setup. You shouldn't, feel nervous. You shouldn't feel scared. You just feel confident. And if you have to stop out, it's part of the game. You're not going to win 100% of the time. But most of the time, you are going to win. You have that statistical edge behind you. OPGN halted on the downside now. OPGN is halted on the downside. Did I ever trade futures? Nope. I've just traded small caps. I did dabble around with some OTC back in the day. I have traded some options before, but just never like consistently. I may have played around with it a little bit. Stockbuck. Yep, I did see that. I did go back and look at the history. Yeah. Oh, I hope it's not around 2 p.m. I don't want to be sitting here all day. Don't want to be sitting here all day. Nice, IBS. Still in TTS. Nice one. Yep, Dreambox, I do see that, do see the intraday pattern is against me at the moment. I'm aware of that. But I'm just gonna stick with my plan, and if I stop out, I stop out. I'm not gonna stop out just randomly right here. Maybe if it's lunch hours and it's still holding, there's a possibility I'll stop out before it hits my stop loss. Because there's certain rules you have in place that you want to stick by. TTS, very nice. Let's put TTS on the top level too. That's beautiful. Look at that uptrend. Nice. Salt. I never heard of that one. Oh, bulkers. Yep. There's a shipper. Oh, the shipper's looking. GLBS. CTRM. Yep, Jason, you just follow your plan. Cut winner short. Yeah, definitely. 100% agree with you there. Alright, so it's 10:20 right now. Let's see what else we got going on. OPGN halted on the downside. CLSD. TXYN. So if you guys have any questions for me, comments, feel free to X. It is 10:24 right now. I'll probably be wrapping up the stream as soon as I exit CETX, or unless it gets a little bit later. If it's like 10:40, 10:45, and I'm still holding and it's just going sideways, I'll probably wrap it up. So kind of whatever comes first. Tim VP, not that I know off the top of my head. I do have a video called The Trading Process. It's definitely crucial to having, it's definitely crucial to start building, consistency in your trading. So I definitely recommend, go checking that one out. But as far as wait, give me a second here. I just gotta watch my position. And definitely some propping here on CETX. Definitely some propping here. Same story with this one. Just, soaking on the X, soaking on the bids, each dip soaking, each pop soaking. Did have that a little initial squeeze that squeezed me out a little bit. But, I'd probably say below 190 is kind of that kill line, that kind of that def line. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Tim, yeah. Yeah, so definitely check out that video on the process. You definitely want to have a consistent day trading process, routine that you do each and every day. Before you start trading, after you start trading. So in that video, the trading process, I go over my daily routine, what I do each and every day, trading wise, and that just builds consistency, and that will lead to you, building consistency. Also, building up and tracking your database. As far as the tracking and statistical aspect, just do it the old-fashioned way, man. Just going in Excel, tracking certain setups. First, you got to pick a setup, then start tracking it over and over again. Build that statistical edge. Keep building that up. I'd probably say try to aim for 60% or more accuracy on your setup. Once you have a good enough database, build on up. Then move over to the real account, and then go from there. You could also use TraderView. That's what I use. I used to do Excel, when I was tracking, but I kind of moved over to TraderView. I could tag my trades, and it's a much simpler way for me. It is about $50 a month, so if you want to save money, you could do it the old-fashioned way. JJ, really appreciate that. Yeah, JJ, she is one of my one-on-one mentoring students. Uh, I've done a ton of lessons with her. She's great. So if anyone also is interested on some one-on-one lessons, you guys could DM me if you guys are interested in doing that. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. I just feel like a lot of these traders, they just take like, random trades, off emotions, like, you gotta take your steps. You gotta follow your trading plan. For me, each trade is calculated. I have, it goes by a certain strategy I use. This is the parabolic short on CETX, one of my strategies. A lot of it goes off, looking at how it has so many overhead bag holders. You see, did high volume days here, high volume days here. And the hope is the plan is that supply and demand will take into effect here on CETX, and it will come down. So that was kind of the trading thesis here on CETX. Same thing with NNDM. I went over this one in pre-market. I said, guys, watch for a pullback to 4 and to 380. Watch for it to base there, find support, put in a higher low, then look for a rip. What did it do? Came down to 390, bounced here, put in a higher low. It did crack a little bit here, and then boom, went up. And there's CETX. So all out of that one on CETX. And yeah, that's it. So took a loss there. I'm perfectly fine, guys. I'm not mad. I took a setup. It's just 7 out of 10 times. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna lose. A certain amount of times, and this happened to fall into that. The 3 times out of 10 that I'm gonna lose on this setup. So CETX, done with that one. Gonna move on. It's gonna be a red day for me, guys, and I'm perfectly fine with that. If the last 2 weeks, I had the best 2 weeks, maybe in my entire trading career. So giving back $1,000 today is nothing, guys. It's all risk management. It's risk management. You guys saw on SES, guys, I made $9,000 in one day, giving back $1,000 today. How could I complain? How could I get mad at myself? And how can I get mad at myself if I took a setup and lost? So, it is what it is. Gonna move on, and tomorrow's a new day, and we'll see what we have in store for tomorrow. So, yep, guys, I was risking 10 cents, so I lost a total of. I got a little slippage. I lost a total of 12 cents on CETX. So, the risk reward was there. Risk reward was there. I was only risking 12 cents. It's all about risk management, guys. Risk management is a huge part of trading. Thank you, Dreambox. Yeah, I was on a huge green streak. And today's a red day. Alright, guys, I'm probably going to wrap it up in the next few minutes here. And I'm going to call it a day. Hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. If you guys don't mind, dropping me a like, subscribing, turning the notification bell on. I'd greatly appreciate that. And share the video if you guys enjoyed. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm definitely looking forward for tomorrow. Do I have a winning percentage goal? No, I don't. I don't have a winning percentage goal. I mean, I've showed you guys tons of times in the live stream my winning percentage. I'm not bullshitting. This is no BS. I showed you guys my statistics over 100 and whatever trades over the last few months, and I have around 72% accuracy on my trading. I've showed you guys it. I'm not lying. None of that is BS. It's straight from my broker. It transfers over to my trader view. And I've shown you guys time and time again, my winning percentage. And right now it's around 72%. So I know I'm going to win 7 out of 10 times. It's statistically proven over hundreds of trades. So thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it. What's going on, IBS? No swing setups at the moment. My swing trading account, I'm not in anything right now. If I do see anything, I'll let you know, man. Let's see, Peter. Do I prefer trading in pre-market? I wouldn't say I prefer trading in pre-market, but I'll say this: one of my favorite setups is a pre-market long setup. So I do like a certain setup on the long side in pre-market. And I'll also say this: my biggest winners have come in pre-market. My biggest winners have come from trading over in pre-market. Actually, the setup I took today is probably still it's a good setup, but it's probably my least favorite setup out of all my trading setups. I still do well on it, but it's probably my least favorite setup, to be honest, guys. On CETX, it's the parabolic short. Not my favorite, but it still works most of the time, so that's why I took the setup. So, guys, like probably another minute or two, I'm gonna end it. Let's see. Do I trade Power Hour? Yeah, I'll trade occasionally. I'll trade, you know, 2 p.m. right around there. I'll always let you guys know in Discord. Lately, the past 2 weeks, I have been taking some setups in after the stream. IBS, 100%, man. Preach. Price action and volume, baby. That's it. I drill it into you guys every day. Those are going to be your best friends, best guides in the market. All right, IBS. See you in chat. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it too. I'm gonna end it too. And end the stream now. Once again, guys, appreciate support. Appreciate you guys being here each and every day. Means a lot to me. And yeah, so I'll see you guys all in Discord, and we'll be back at it again. Let's see if we get any setups tomorrow morning, and we could go from there. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Take care, guys. Have a great day.